ID and RRI Digital on mobile application. We present various programs for you. Diplomatic Forum, The Session, Indonesian Wonder, Miscellany, Let's Speak Bahasa Indonesia, Indonesian pop and regional songs, international musical entertainment, as well as news and information about Indonesia and abroad. Voice of Indonesia, from Indonesia to the world. As we know, the President of Indonesia, Prabowo Subianto, made a state address in front of the Parliament on the 80th Independence Day of Indonesia on August the 17th, 2025. And how is its impact to the economy? We'll see into it with the Dean of Economics and Management Faculty of IPB University, Irfan Shauki. Good afternoon, Pak Irfan.
Yeah, good afternoon.
So, sir,
how are you?
I'm fine. Thank you very much for asking. And what about you, sir?
Yeah, I'm also very good.
So,
thank you.
Straight to the point, I'd like to know what is the impact that the president has made from his speech towards the economy recently?
Yeah, actually what has been stated by the president gave a kind of optimism, in the middle of the global uncertainties. Yeah, as we know that we are facing increasing global economic uncertainties caused by many reasons, many variables, including the changing and challenging geopolitical situation as well. So actually, there is a hope in the president's statement, and we are expecting, of course, that what has been stated and delivered by our president will be realized in various policies that will make our economy more resilient, stronger, and can take various opportunities. For example, in the field of halal industry, for instance, actually there is a very good opportunity in that industry that needs to be utilized by us. So how we can formulate a strategic policy that can put Indonesia as one of the major players in this industry, because if we look at the volume of this industry, it reached around $2 trillion and it grows up by averagely 6 to 7% annually. So it is a very good number. And there is a room for Indonesia actually when it has more focus on it. Similarly, when we talk about the food sovereignty, for instance, and how we can optimize the potential within this sector, how we can develop further the agriculture sector with smart farming approach, for instance, because we are facing now aging farmers. As we know that the average age of the farmers reach around 60 years old. So it's a kind of, aging farmer, and how we can deal with this situation, because in the future, this will pose, a threat, significant threat to us, unless we do something that can mitigate the possible challenges that we are facing in the future. And one of the ways to do that is by implementing the smart farming system, smart agriculture system. And that's why we cannot have food sovereignty unless we have more focus on the smart agriculture development. So this is just an example on how the government can realize its ambitions, its aspiration, and its programs. So based on the president's speech, we are very optimistic. But again, we need more concrete policy, so that the statement and the realization and the actualization, they are in the same trend, they are in the same pattern. So there's no significant gap between the statement and the actual condition of the economy.
So the gap need to be narrowed and to make it from the statement into a real world. And we have talked about the halal industry. We also talk about the food sovereignty. And another point that the president keeps repeating on his speech is about the management of natural resources to be used for the prosperity of Indonesian people. How do you see the situation of the natural resources management in the country, and what can be done?
Yeah, as we know that the access and the control, on the natural resources industry, like mining, for instance, it is in the hands of few people, few elites, few groups of conglomerates. So I'm not against those people, no, but how we can make more equitable access to people, so that people can get more benefit. And also the governance of that sector needs also to be increased, because corruption is still there, misuse of resources is still there, and also many policies, they are still not in line with the national interests. I think we need to redefine our national interests in this sector, because actually our basic constitution, Undang-Undang Dasar 45, has put a very clear direction towards the management of these natural resources. And the president always says this as well, that the management of natural resources should be in the optimization of the people's interests. But sometimes what we see in the reality, what we see in the ground, that the opposite takes place. And this needs to be changed. And we hope that for the rest of our presidential tenure, our president can realize this. For example, how to produce policy that on the one hand it can optimize the potential of these natural resources, but on the other hand it still serve the best interest for our nation, including its sustainability. Because now the sustainability is another issue that needs to be met by our government. Like the NDC nation about the carbon emission, etc. There are many things that needs to be done in order to ensure that the benefit of natural resources management is not only enjoyed by current generation, but also it will give more benefit to the next generation. And that's why the government needs to work harder and smarter to ensure this to happen. And I think unequal access, and then corruption, and also the governance of this natural resources management needs to be increased, and the president should pay more attention towards this one. And all the mafia that exists in various sectors need to be eliminated. Like on the mining, on the gas, on the oil and gas sector, for example, and others. So these mafia, these people, they try to always make certain policies that will benefit them. These kind of things need to be resolved by our president. Otherwise, his statement is only statement.
And let's make a conditional sentence in here. If we do not have the corruptors, we exclude the mafia as well, and then we change all this policy to be the best interest for the people of Indonesia. What about the investors? Will Indonesia still be a sexy place for them to invest in or not?
Yeah, of course. Indonesia is always a sexy country. Because we have abundant natural resources. Even since hundreds of years ago, Indonesia is always sexy to many investors. And that's why we should not be afraid that they will leave this country. No. They still need this country because we have everything. That's why what we need to do is how we can optimize these resources for the benefit of our people. And dealing with the investor in a more equitable way, in more fairer way. Yeah, because sometimes the deal made was not fair to us. Yeah, and we have observed in many sector, yeah, like gold industry, for example, gold mining. Yeah, it was unfair for us. Yeah, if you look at the terms and conditions and the situation. So that's why we need to make it more fair so that everyone can get benefit. And also, one thing that investor needs is actually about the law enforcement. Yeah, once we can ensure the world that we are on the right track of making law enforced, yeah, according to the existing regulation, everybody will be convinced and will believe if we take some serious actions. Yeah, so law enforcement is very important, and also the regulation itself. It should not be, we have to make more a stable regulation, yeah, and which has a strong orientation towards the welfare of the people. Because investors, to them, they will understand that these resources, of course, they are should be utilized for the benefit of the people. And what they want is actually they can put their money and investment, yeah, in this sector so that they can also get benefit. And of course, most of the investors actually they like to have the benefit should go to all parties, to all stakeholders. Yeah, they prefer harmonious situation rather than conflicting situation, because conflicting situation will absorb their energy and resources as well. So that's why creating the environment that conducive to all stakeholders, including the people, the investor, is very crucial. And it has to be based on a fair regulation and good law enforcement.
Okay, Pak Irfan, we got everything we needed. Thank you very much for your time with us, sir. Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Thank you. Bye.
Listener dari Studi of Economics and Management Faculty of IPB University, Pak Irfan Syauqi, and I'd like to make a short conclusion about our dialogue. It's about closing the gap between the statement of the president and the reality, and make everything, including the policies, to be the best interest for the people of Indonesia. And Indonesians should not need to worry about the investors because we have everything, and investors prefer something that is fairer and also less conflicted and more conducive. And that's it, listener. You can listen again to this conversation on our YouTube channel, VOI Official.
Voice of Indonesia.